Hi guys, I'm Connor and I'll be bringing you verb conjugations for irregular verbs, and I'm just going to start in right now. Amene means to bring people, and as you can see, I've already pre-done the verb selections for you, the conjugations for you, and I'm pretty much just going to be explaining them. In the first one, this should be jamene, jamen. You can see that it has an accent that's not in the original verb. That's what changes in this irregular verb. You have j'amène, tu amènes, il amène, nous amenons, vous amenez, elle amène. As you can see, these two are the only ones that follow the no accent on the E pattern, except for, the past participle. Whereas all these have an accent on the first E, amene. And that's how you conjugate the verb amene. It's a boot verb, if that helps you memorize anything. I'm going to draw you a little boot here, because, visuals. If you want to copy this down, just pause the video, and you can copy it down. I may be taking notes on it, but go ahead. And this verb does follow the correct past participle formation. Up next, we have achete. Achete is also the same conjugation format as amene. You start off with the accent on the first E, on tu, on il, el, and on il, el. It all has the accent on the first E. And nous, vous is the only one that stays the same the entire time. It follows the correct pattern, just like amene. We're going to draw the boot again, if you need that visual. If you don't, just live with it. Live with me here right now, because I'm trying to do this video to help you for anyone who needs it. The past participle follows the correct ER verb past participle formula, which is just an accent on an E at the end of it. If you want to copy this down while I'm working on this, I'm just going to pronounce it for you. J'achète, tu achètes, il on achète, nous achetons, vous achetez, ils achetons, past participle acheter. Esperar means to hope for. It's also the same conjugation, except now we're just flipping the accent on each one of them. You can see how esperar in the top, to hope for, has an accent going the other way. But when you conjugate it for je to il, and el, the accent switches. You kind of make this, you go to this accent to this accent, basically, if you don't know what they're called, grave and grand. But there you go. The new one is the second one, obviously, and it goes to those three, and then obviously il and el. But as you can see, the rest follows the correct accent. Not only the spelling and conjugation, but has the correct accent for new and vous. There's your little boot. I'm probably going to draw this on every single one, but it's a visual for those visual people, and this is the voice for the audio people. The conjugation follows the exact same E. You can see I'm underlining it right now. Perfect. And esperar, you just got the double accent at the same time, follows the exact formula for ER verb. Up next, we have préférer. Préférer means to prefer. It follows the same thing, except this time, préférer has two accents, and we're only going to change one of them. We are going to be changing the second accent on préférer. We're going to turn it the opposite way. So we now have a little house kind of thing. As you can see, I'm underlining it. Right now, I'm going to draw you a little visual. You kind of get this little house. It's probably going to be, oh, that's a bad house. Well, let me draw you a better one. There's the, this is going to be a better house. It's kind of like a house covering over the F. And it does this with all the boot verb on the insides. It's on all of them, except for nous, vous, and the past participle. And on nous and vous, you just have the accents going the same way, straight, both times. It doesn't really change. And same with the past participle. You got 3 accents, but it's all going the same way, so it shouldn't be that hard to remember. That's just so you can notice that it stays the same with the original. This does follow the correct ER verb conjugation, except for the accents. It's the only thing that really makes this verb irregular. This is our last verb that has accent problems. Up next, I'll be going through verbs that have problems with Y, or just similar conjugations that don't make sense, the actual conjugation. Up next, this is an Y verb that changes. As you can see, I changed the color so you can recognize it if you watch this video again. I'm underlining the Y because that is what changes, not the O if you think that does. But it's just going to go simply from je. Instead of using Y, you're going to put an I right there, but it's going to follow the exact same order that it would if you were doing a ER conjugation. SS nothing, if you know that song. But in this case, we have E, S, E. There's nothing S, nothing. And it's j'envoie, tu envoies, il envoie, nous envoyons, vous envoyez, il envoie, and past participle is envoyer, and it follows the correct past participle. And this one I think is easier because all you really need to do is turn that the Y into an I. And same as the other verbs, nous and vous are the only ones to follow the correct spelling of the actual word to start out with, of the infinitive. Same with the past participle. The next Y verb is payer, which means to pay. This is a little different. This follows our SS nothing, but it's really SST. I don't get why they call it nothing. You turn that Y into an I, and you add an S or T, basically. And the rest is the same pattern as the other one before it. You got the SST, but then it's just je paie, tu paies, il en paie, nous payons, vous payez, ils payons. And the past participle is payer. I'm boxing the nous payons, vous payez because it's exactly the way that you would conjugate it if it wasn't weird. It's the only one that does that, as well as the past participle. Well, there you go. Those are the only 2 Y verbs I have today. But up next, I'll be doing 2 irregular verbs that kind of have no real explanation of why they're irregular. Up first, I have vouloir, which means to want. This goes from an OUL to an EU. And it's weird. It's like XXT instead of SST or SS nothing, really. It goes from the VOU to a VEU. You just turn that O into an E, basically, for the boot verbs. Well, I shouldn't even say boot, because this is really not a boot verb. Because, as you can see, over on il, el, vul, it has no X. It kind of mashes the two, like vous and voulante together to make vul. It's just basically like that. That's the only thing that's different about it. And another thing that's different about it is that this past participle does not follow the actual past participle for an IR verb. It follows the past participle conjugation for an RE verb, but it does not follow the regular conjugation for it. You have voulu instead of, like, let's say vouli, because that's what it would be if it was the correct IR conjugation. And I really have no explanation of why this is irregular. It's just kind of irregular on its own. It goes from the O to the E to the X to the T. Kind of rhymed. That did rhyme, and I kind of like that. As you can see, I'm drawing a little RE sign. That's just saying that it follows the RE conjugation instead of the IR for the past participle. Up next, I believe we have the verb pouvoir, which means to be able to. It's basically the exact same thing. It's going to have the weird il, el, pouv. And the nous and vous follow the correct formula for the verb conjugation that it should be. Past participle was weird. Il, el is weird. Je, tu, il, el, en is weird. As you can see, I'm underlining it for you right now. It's EUX, EUX, EUT again. And then nous and vous are normal. So I don't know why I'm doing all these verbs, but I think it helps you to see that there's variations of irregularity in these. It's not just an accent goes one way or an I changes to Y or Y changes to an I. It's complete letter changes and complete irregular patterns that don't make any sense. It's like a sock and half a sock and then two weird little pieces of fabric. This follows the RE conjugation as well. Just peut. Je peux, tu peux, il, elle peut, nous pouvons, vous pouvez, ils, elles peuvent, and past participle peut. I hope this helps some of y'all out there so you can come back study for tests, exams, and I really just want to thank you for listening and watching this video. Thanks and have a good day. Bye.